Okay, hey guys, welcome back to Clix Corner. Now I'm doing the second part of my Infinity set review, which is the Colossals. I decided to do it in two parts, so we'll get into the Colossals now. The first one is Giant Girl. Now, this Giant Girl is pretty interesting because you can play it as any point value, and basically you get 1 click per 10 points. It amazes me that this is an uncommon, actually. That the fact that this is actually going to be cheap. And it has Colossal Retaliation as a trait, so it has the retaliation on every click. So you could have a 10 point, 10 attack, 10 speed, 17 defense combat reflexes, 3 damage charge click with Colossal Retaliation. Now, of course, all of this isn't going to matter. Oh no, it is going to matter because she doesn't have Colossal Indifference either, so that's always good. This set is a great example of how much they absolutely love Janet Van Dyne, Ant-Man and Wasp, because it's like I say, I'm surprised Giant Girl is such a low rarity, but then again, there's loads of them everywhere, so like there's 3 Colossal Janet Van Dynes, so I suppose you've got to put them in some rarity. Anyhow, she also has a trait that allows her to heal past her chosen starting line, and she can't heal except by that trait. But when she kills an opposing character, after resolutions, you roll a d6 and heal it a number equal to half the result. That's pretty good. So this Giant Girl is very usable. You know, she can basically fill any point value you want it to, as long as it's in tens, which is pretty cool. Next up is the Kree Sentry, which is pretty interesting. It has a series of different dials that you choose for it to start with that are all more or less worth 75 points, I'd say. They all look pretty decent. And it also gets Empower or Enhancement if you have the other Kree Giant on your team. You can also choose Empower or Enhancement for each of them, but they can only affect Krees with it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you could have a full team of these. They all have to start on different dials. Next is a Hulk, which I think is pretty interesting, but I think he's only worth looking at on his lower point dials, because probably the 150 point dial, because you're never going to play the 251 constructed. Interesting that he drops to like 14, 15 defenses. Bit weird. His defense is pretty shoddy to begin with, actually. He's got traded Battle Fury. When he hits one or more characters that can use Shape Change, Super Senses, or Stealth, he gets 1 extra damage. And he's rocking like 5s on some of his clicks and 4s on most of them, which is pretty awesome. When Hulk is targeted with Outwit or opposing Perplex, roll a d6. You've then got a 50-50 chance of him having protected Outwit and Perplex until your next turn, which bit of a weird one, but yeah, definitely not bad. What else is a bit weird is that he has 1 click of Steal Energy, but, you know, whatever. This is a stop click here, which isn't once per game, so I suppose heal up, stop sort of thing, I guess. This attack power here is Super Strength, and when he's given a move action, he destroys all adjacent pieces of blocking terrain, and then he can use Quake at no cost. This is a common ability for some of the Colossals in this set. And on his stop click, which is here and here, he's got free action, roll a d6, remove an action token from the Hulk on 5 or 6. So yeah, the Hulk's pretty good. His defense is a bit low, but his damage output is going to sort that out. Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl is interesting. They have a 100 point dial, a 75 point dial, and a 50 point dial. So they are very manageable in where they go. Unfortunately, I really wanted to make a team of the Smoking Jacket Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy, Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, and Cosmo. Unfortunately, the only way to do that is on these 50 point dials, which are just a bit lame. I mean, 9 attack? It's a dinosaur! It's a giant red dinosaur! But they do have Inhumans keyword, which is good for me. The fact that they have a Devil Dinosaur is good for me. And they definitely have some interesting themes, some interesting takes on the way they now do duos. So, as a free action, you can turn them to the same click number of a different colour. They can't be healed above their starting click number on either dial. On the second click, Moon Girl has full clicks of Outwit and a free range of 5 Incapacitate, which can only be used as a ranged attack. Now, I definitely don't think these are bad. I think these aren't as good as they could have been. For example, I'd have liked a couple more 10s here. I think they've really tried to make the Devil Dinosaurs not particularly strong in this set. But don't get me wrong, I will use them in Constructed as well. Next up is Jakar, which is a really weird sculpture use of the Stranger that's later in the set. I originally was like, what the hell? What's the point in this thing? Like, why would we want to sculpture use a Stranger? Then after learning about the character, I'm actually okay with it. He's got quite a funny origin story, to be honest. And yeah, he's got a really cool dial too. I maybe wouldn't use the 125 point dial because I think he is going to be a support character on this 75 point dial here, where he can use TK at no cost up to 3 times, and when he uses it to place an opposing character, they take 1 penetrating. He can't target the same opposing character more than once using it though. And then he's also got this Colossal Retaliation at the end. So for 75 points, triple TK, Invincible, Indomitable TK is always a good combination. And Shape Change as well. He's going to be an irritating dude. And his Cosmic keyword is good on anybody. This guy is going to be pretty useful. But with a 75 point dial like that and a Retaliation click for $2, this guy is going to rule. The Retaliation does suck, don't get me wrong. It's like, give hit characters 2 action tokens that don't do pushing damage, and you may place them in a square adjacent to their current square. Don't get me wrong, that is going to be useful, but I'd rather pay the 10 points less for Skyscraper Wonder Woman, especially since that's the only dial of Skyscraper Wonder Woman that's any good. Oh yeah, I just said that. Now, here's an interesting Colossal. It is a Colossal title character of Wasp. Now, would you like to know my list of title characters who did not get a title character before Wasp did? Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, The Flash, Wolverine, Hulk, and Green Lantern. Even Ant-Man! Ant-Man and Wasp! And Wasp gets the title character first! Now, when this figure was leaked, my friend of mine said it's almost as if they have a film to promote. Fair enough, yeah. Even though WizKids have nothing, there's no reason why they should promote it unless they're getting, like, something on the side for doing so. But there isn't an Ant-Man in the set! And there's 3 Colossal Wasps. I don't mind the other one in the main set, that one's pretty good. But, yeah, okay, so, yeah. So, first of all, she has got a +1. Each time an opposing character is hit this turn, after resolutions, modify the character's defense by -1. Not bad. +1. As a free action, choose an opposing character that, well, it's a Colossal Retaliation, basically, which, for some reason, does +2 attack and damage when she attacks a Colossal. Why would Wasp get stronger attacking a Colossal? Why would she get stronger attacking Thanos than attacking, I don't know, a henchman, a thug? It makes little sense to me. Nonetheless, I digress. -3, free, choose tiny symbol, starburst, giant or colossal. Wasp and adjacent friendly characters gain that symbol until your next turn. I'm not saying that's useless, I'm saying it's the worst of her abilities. And she has a ultimate -10. Free, remove all action tokens from each friendly character with the Avengers keyword and heal them 2 clicks. Now that is amazing. And if we take a look at a 50 point dial here, that is also amazing without these title character abilities. Well, maybe not that far, but yeah, it's definitely a strong character with the title character abilities. With Indomitable, a 5 damage sort of thing. 3 damages all the way through. Leadership on a load of clicks. She's tough. For 50 points, the thing's insane. And the fact that you can use this, the Fast Forces one, and the regular one, and have 3 Colossal Retaliations is amazing, because in case you didn't notice, this +1 does not say Colossal Retaliation, so it doesn't count. And the giant girl in the Fast Forces states that its Colossal Retaliation can be used in addition to other Colossal Retaliations. I think it's insane how much focus that Wasp is getting in this set, but I think the thing I hate about it most is that I know I will at some stage attempt to get these, because they are really good figures, and I can't argue with that. Tony Stark's car. How overpowered is this thing? This thing's insane. Pilot ability, when it's got Iron Man or Tony Stark in it, shape change. Always good on a figure with 9 clicks in it. When an attack misses Tony Stark's car, roll a d6. On 5 to 6, remove an action token from it, which is always good on a figure with attack and damage values like this one. Its last click is just a stop click that turns it to a special terrain dial, and these damage powers are when he carries one or more characters during a costed action. Has passenger 1, I'll point out. During a costed action, after resolutions, roll a d6. On 5 to 6, one carried character may be given a costed action this turn. That thing is pretty cool. This is a pretty sick vehicle. The one thing I do have a problem with though is that vehicles don't have to be this big. Like if Superman throws a car at you, it explodes. You know what I mean? It doesn't take 9 more hits to kill. But I digress. I'll rant about that more later. Next up we have the bigger Kree Sentry. Now this guy, it doesn't take damage from Colossal Stamina, depending on which keyword you pick at the start of the game. If you hit someone with that keyword, he doesn't take damage from Colossal Stamina. That's pretty good. He's also got traded leadership, but only if another character with both the Kree and robot keywords is on your force, i.e. the other Sentry. Other friendly characters with the Kree keyword have free, move a friendly character named Sentry this 1 square. Pretty good. And then on these lower dials, it has an attack power at the start. Super strength, when it's given a move action, after resolutions, destroy all adjacent pieces of blocking terrain, and then you can use Quake at no cost, the mass destruction ability again. And I will point out that this is a move action, so this does not count, just in case anybody's wondering. That seems like the kind of thing that will come up on Hasty Realms. It also has this ability here, here, and here. Energy shield, deflection, toughness, and regeneration. Not bad a combo. Moving on to Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. Oh, I like these guys. Again, they don't seem as powerful as they could be, but they're definitely not bad. It'll be the 75 point dial here that you're going to use the most. Ignores characters for movement. Free ranged attack with a range of 4 and attack of 9 and the damage of 1. Can be replaced or modified. Those values are garbage, but they are free, so that makes it okay. On these last 3 clicks, it has charge, sidestep. When they damage 1 or more opposing characters with a close attack, they may take an action token off themselves. So they could theoretically keep going for ages. I mean, granted they have a 8 attack on this, so you're definitely going to be putting this close combat expert all on here. But nonetheless, I definitely think these aren't as bad a figure as some people think they are. Giganto and Namor. Mass destruction trait again. Energy explosion with a range of 4. When they use it after resolutions, hit characters given an action token. That definitely rebuffs it a bit. Gives you a bit more than a regular energy explosion. Also has a colossal retaliation dial. Place Giganto and Namor such that they can make a close attack targeting the chosen character, then do so using Quake at no cost. That's not bad. It costs... That's not the right dial. It costs 15 points as well, so that's really not bad. The 50 point dial is definitely not bad either, actually. That's pretty sick. This guy's going to be popular, though, because the Atlantis keyword is very popular. Monster is also a really good keyword, and so is animals. So this guy, you know, is going to be difficult to get. Thanos. Right. Okay. Thanos Temper Tantrum Sculpt. It looks awful.
I mean, it's pretty difficult to make a bad Thanos sculpt. I mean, look at this Connex one. This is literally a joke Thanos, and it still looks cool as hell. So how the hell they managed to make this ugly sculpt, I have no idea. And I'll point out the reuse of the Thanos throne as well, and the fact that this is not a Colossal. And looking at the dials aren't particularly that much better either. I don't really want to pay the amount of points that you have to pay for the dials. So what I'm going to skip to is the abilities that he can add to himself, without which he would be an awful figure, and this would be in the bad stuff pile.
However, he does have this passing the gauntlet ability that Nebula had, and I do know that this 250 point dial has been wrecking up sealed.
So his other abilities, basically you can add 25 or 50 points to him to make him a little bit better than the awful dial he starts off as. And these are such nasty abilities that they do actually turn him into a good figure. So these abilities, which aren't on his Sea Realms, are literally the only things that make this Thanos on the good list. So for 25 points, whenever an opposing character attacks after resolutions, that character takes 1 penetrating for every 2 in the attack roll. Now that kind of sucks, but nonetheless, it's alright. The one that's really good is adding 50 points, so that once per turn, when he's attacked, you can roll a 2d6, and if your roll plus your attack value is higher than the attack roll against you, the attacker takes your damage, their own damage value, as damage. Which is pretty cool. The way around this is blades, or using Thor Odinson and Jane Foster and healing him for at least 30 clicks, while you continuously make awful attack rolls, even though you get +2 on Thanos because he has a 10 attack and Odinson has a 12. This last ability does make it quite an irritating figure, but to be honest, this isn't really what I want in a Thanos either.
Next is the first Colossal that I am truly interested in, which is, apart from the Devil Dinosaurs, which is Stranger. Because I think this 100-point dial is going to gel really well with Jakeem. I could be wrong. But how Stranger works is, hold up. 400-point dial I'll probably never use. 250-point dial I'd probably never use. 100-point dial, very possibly use. You can't use Power Cosmic anymore on this dial, which is a bit of a shame. Once per turn, you may modify a friendly character's range +3 when it uses Outwit, Perplex, or Prob. When Stranger is KO'd, the effect continues for the rest of the game. That's pretty cool. Stranger can't be the target of an attack with more than one target. Always good. And at the beginning of your turn, you can choose 2 standard powers that an opposing character can use that you didn't choose last turn. Stranger can use those powers until your next turn. Now, either this is where you're going to get your willpower from not being able to use Power Cosmic anymore, or your opponent's not got any willpower, and so you don't really need it, because they've got an awful team. So, you know, it sorts itself out. This is far from the best pick-up power I've ever seen, but it's going to get a better defense power than this toughness. It can get you your willpower, and it can get you the Psychic Blasty, Pulse Wavy sort of stuff that you need. A pick-up power is always good, and that's why I like Stranger. Moving on to Infinity. And beyond! Sorry, couldn't help myself. Okay, Infinity is one of the real powerhouse type Colossals. Starting off with a 13 attack, a 20 defense, and a 5 damage on its 600-point dial. Other friendly characters modify speed and range +1, and opposing characters modify speed and range -1. Continues for the rest of the game. That's not bad. Phase and teleport and sidestep. Adjacent friendly characters have free. Place this character in another square adjacent to Infinity. That's not bad, depending on where you can get him up to. The cheapest dial it has is 75 points. And for 75 points, this guy doesn't look bad at all, actually. So you can move people for free. It's got 12 range, a 3 damage outwit, Power Cosmic. Yeah, this guy looks cool. Eternity is similar. When Eternity is given an action token, after resolutions, remove it. Eternity can't be the attack of a target of an attack with more than one target. When another friendly character that isn't a bystander would be KO'd once per turn, roll a d6. 6. Turn the character to its last non-KO click instead. When Eternity is KO'd, effect lasts for the rest of the game. During force construction, Eternity gains all keywords from all other characters on your starting force. Wow. When another character KOs a character opposing to it with an attack, give it a notice token. Free, place Eternity adjacent to a character with a notice token. And this does have a 100-point dial, which is going to slip into every team you want it to. Prob, free keywords, this heal anybody who might die ability.
Which basically Capaldi's your entire team.
And the notice token thing as well. This guy really rules, don't get me wrong. He's going to be expensive, but he's awesome. Phew, good god, this guy is TLDR, isn't he? When another character of 50 points is KO'd, give him an evidence token. Give him 2 tokens instead if they have a cosmic keyword or can use Power Cosmic. Power, roll 2d6. If the result is less than the number of evidence tokens, remove all of those tokens and issue a verdict. You haven't issued yet this game. Oh my god, I can't be bothered reading this. At the beginning of each opponent's turn, that opposing force gets action total -1 if it has more characters on it than any other force. That's pretty cool. For the rest of the game, at the beginning of each opponent's turn, that player chooses one of their friendly characters and deals it 1 unavoidable damage. This turn, friendly characters have free make an attack. Place all characters on the map up to 6 squares away from their current square. For the rest of the game, opposing characters modify their combat values except range -1 for each action token on them. For the rest of the game, opposing characters can use Earthbound, Neutralized, and Battle Fury. That last one sucks. And it also has Outwit and Prob. Now, what is the lowest dial? It has... not that one. 150 is the lowest dial it has. If you don't mind using this as your main guy, I suppose. It's got generic keywords. It's got 13 range with 3 targets. That's not to be sniffed at all, don't get me wrong. And it's definitely a good figure, but I'm not sure how long this is going to stay alive and constructed. But people can work that out. And finally, we have 1950s Groot, which is another odd choice, but it has the origin before the Guardians trait. At the beginning of your turn, you may generate a Dr. Leslie Evans bystander in an opponent's starting area. Beginning of your game, sorry. That's friendly to their force, and if you do, you get 2 Walking Wood bystanders. I've always got Walking Wood. Whenever Groot hits one or more characters with an attack, after resolutions, generate a Walking Wood bystander, maximum 5. So we've got a Colossal Retaliation click. If no other Colossal Retaliation are being used this turn, choose an opposing character that attack Groot or damage a friendly character since you look to... oh, that's just a standard close attack. And it's also got, if Groot began the turn in printed hindering terrain, heal in 1 click. That's what Leslie Evans looks like. So you are giving your opponent a Outwit, which kind of sucks. But you're also getting 2 Flurry, Plasticity, Sidestep bystanders, which aren't bad at all. Groot's definitely not a bad figure. This guy's going to rule because of this... I keep doing that. Because of this 20-point dial where it even has leadership and retaliation. That's going to be a thing. You know, you're going to get the bystanders, the leadership, and the retaliation for 20 points. That's pretty sick.
So that brings us to the end of the good stuff from the Colossals from the Infinity set. God, it's taken me far too long to get these edited and uploaded. Of course, these are far too late, but, you know, you can still stick around for my very negative opinions on the bad stuff in the set. Thank you for watching.